What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike, and today I can hear the snowflake brains in the audience melting as they look at the title of this video. But you read it correctly. Today what we're talking about is what is it like to cycle steroids with your 13-year-old son. My son Paul just turned 13, which means that he can now have a membership to Planet Fitness so that he can lift with me and or my wife. And so, of course, since he decided to start lifting weights, we wasted no time in getting him onto his first steroid cycle. And I can tell a lot of you are probably like, holy shit, like you probably have the phone in your hand right now to call CPS and report this video. But the fucking joke is on you, because what is a steroid? A steroid is a hormone made in the body from cholesterol. Cholesterol is converted by 17-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, an enzyme, into a number of sex hormones, also called steroid molecules. So my son, who's 13 years old, is currently running his first ever steroid cycle, also known as puberty. That's right. When your kid goes into puberty, their bodies start producing naturally their first ever cycle of steroids. This is the first time in his life that he's had this much testosterone, DHT, progesterone, estrogen, all of the sex hormones, all of the steroid hormones that the human body makes naturally are peaking in his system for the first time ever. And what's amazing about that, as a father who happens to be on a steroid cycle as well, is that when your kid starts going into puberty and you're a normal 40, 45-year-old person, or depending on how, maybe you were younger when your kid started puberty, this is generally a very difficult time for parents because they have a hard time connecting with all this voice changes and aggression. He starts growing hair. He starts copping a fucking attitude. He starts getting irritable and angry all the time. Maybe it's the first time you've ever seen him start breaking shit in his room. Not my son. He's not doing that. I'm just saying that boys tend to become very aggressive when they go through puberty. In fact, they elicit, or they have the vast majority of the side effects and the behaviors that an adult running steroids have, because that's what steroids do to you. And so it's been a really cool experience as a father going through this period of time with my son, because we are actually like in sync for the first time maybe ever in life. Whereas if he had a normal father who, we would probably, when my older son started puberty, I was not as understanding of what he was going through. But with my younger son, the fact that I'm actually going through all of the exact same things he's going through, the number of times that we'll be around the house and my wife will say something or my daughter will say something, or there'll just be some event and like I'll kind of cut my eyeballs at him. Like we'll just like make eye contact across the room. It's like, yeah, that's fucking annoying. Yeah, that pisses me off too. Yeah, I'm feeling what you're feeling. I'm thinking what you're thinking. We have this immediate connection because we're basically going through a similar stage of life together. So this is another example of what I've been trying to talk about on this channel, where all of these fucking snowflakes want to accuse me of being this terrible father, and oh my God, your son's growing up in these miserable conditions. My son is growing up in a really badass time in life because he's got a father that fully understands in real time what he's going through. So when he gets a little attitudinal, I understand it. I got to keep him in check. I got to put him in his place. but I don't take it as personally. I'm not nearly as irritated by it as I think some other parents are. What's even cooler is my wife is fucking cycling at the same time. And so we're all in this house together and we all kind of get it. Like, he came home from the gym and she's been working like crazy. She's been home by herself for like the first time in like literally ever. Like, my wife usually always has one of our kids. My daughter's at Nana's house. My son was with me at the gym. This literally might be the first time that my wife has been totally alone for any period of time in at least 2 years. At least 2 years, minimum. And of course, she spent the entire time moving camping equipment from my daughter's homeschool room into the garage. She did a phenomenal job. She made sure that we could get the ping pong table out. We could get the quads out. You know, she diligently worked her ass off to create an amazing environment for my daughter to learn in, and didn't cause me any problems in my sort of man space, because we're kind of excited about getting the fucking ping pong table out for the first time like ever in this house, because there's always been a boat in the way. So myself, my son, my wife, we're all experiencing the effects of testosterone or of androgens together at the same time. And you would think that would create this fucking hotbed for hostility and misery and fighting and irritation, and that we'd all just be feeding off of one another, and that this house would just be this massive ball of disgustingly toxic, masculine, roid-induced behavior. And nothing could be possibly further from the truth. The vast majority of the time, we're all just sitting around chilling. We all just got through watching the fucking the series finale of Sons of Anarchy. My son and I, my wife, had been watching Sons of Anarchy during dinner. We watched one episode a night, and we were literally, all of us, in tears like 3 hours ago. You know, my son's basically like, "Dad, please don't ever abandon me like that." You know, we were talking about how, you know, like having a heart-to-heart conversation about the demons that I face in life, and how sometimes I have allowed people like some of the cocksuckers in my comment section to convince me that my wife and kids would be better off without me. Like, I allow the toxic, disgusting snowflake fuckery to get into my head, and sometimes I've actually pushed myself into the Jax Teller mode, where it's like, man, my whole family would just be better off without me. My son was literally in tears like, "Dad, please don't ever do that to me." That's the relationship me and my son have. So here we are together, bodybuilding, growing our bodies, experiencing life together, coping with each other's fucking shit. He fully understands why I melt down sometimes, because he has little internal meltdowns of his own. He understands it on a totally different level why I feel and behave the ways that I do sometimes. I understand what he's going through. My wife actually better understands, more than most women on earth, exactly what her son is going through. And so we're all just living in this house, growing together and having the fucking best time. I cannot imagine, honestly, a more healthy environment for a child to be growing up in than in a home where he's totally understood, where he's given room to be himself, where he doesn't have parents harping down his fucking throat. I don't go in there and look at his computer and check to see if he's looking at porn or be up his fucking ass about what he's doing. He's given his privacy to become a man. He gets to go to the gym with me or his mom. We're talking, he's learning about calorie intake, getting his macros right, getting healthy. And he's only been in the gym for a few fucking weeks now, but he's already starting to watch his body change. And the confidence that's creating in him is awesome to watch. I posted a little blurb tonight on my Instagram. He and I are in the fucking in the dressing room hitting double bicep poses together and making jokes about people at fucking Planet Fitness and just having a fucking great time. My kid and I have been having a great time together for years, and it's only really getting better because he's becoming a man and I'm getting to go through that process with him. And my wife is getting to go through that process with him in a really, really fucking badass and unique way. And I feel extremely fortunate to be having this fucking chance in life. So there you have it. That's what's going on in my house. My 13-year-old son and I and my wife, we're all cycling steroids together. Except he's doing it for the first time totally naturally, and we could not be fucking more unnatural. Obviously, you guys all know that, but it's creating a really badass environment for us to share together, and I hope more families can have this experience, obviously without breaking the law, not medical advice, all the usual bullshit. But when I realized the depth of like what's really going on here and how badass it is that me and my son are actually cycling together, I thought I would come on here real quick and make this video because I knew if for nothing else, the title alone would just have the leftist panties in a gigantic wad. So rest assured, my son is totally natty, but right now we are sharing in our first ever steroid cycle together. So there you have it. As always, thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.